Welcome to Logan's Comics, where ordinary kids rise to impossible heights, where power rewrites destiny, and where every panel ignites a legend. Today, we step into the explosive life of the boy who became too powerful, too fast, Marvel's own Alpha. There are moments in the Marvel universe when fate doesn't whisper, it detonates. And for Andy Maguire, an unnoticed teenager surviving the chaos of Midtown High, destiny arrived in the form of cosmic fire. Not because he fought for it, not because he earned it, but because, for the first time in his life, he was simply in the wrong place at the exact right time. Victor Cooper's lab was supposed to be safe. It was supposed to be controlled. Instead, one unstable experiment shattered, and Andy was flooded with pure reality-bending potential. It was the birth of something unprecedented, something the world would soon call Alpha in Amazing Spider-Man 692, 2012. Peter Parker felt it the instant he saw the boy rise, glowing with cosmic charge, unscarred and somehow limitless. For a brief moment, Peter thought he was staring at a new era, the kind that could save millions, the kind that felt like hope. Because for the first time since he'd been bitten, Peter Parker was looking at a kid who had just become what he once did, an accident waiting to define his life. But Andy Maguire wasn't Peter Parker. He didn't carry the same lessons. He didn't understand the weight of power because he had never held anything worth losing. And in Amazing Spider-Man 693, 2012, that difference became terrifying. Andy discovered that his new alpha energy could do more than fly and blast and shield. It could rewrite physics. It could bend the world around him. But instead of humility, Andy tasted something addictive: attention, fame, worship. The world didn't see a struggling teen anymore. They saw a one-man revolution. Spider-Man knew it was spiraling, but how do you tell a teenager with godlike power that he's not ready to change the world? That he is becoming the very danger he swears he's here to stop? Andy didn't want guidance. He wanted recognition. And the city gave him so much of it that even he couldn't tell the difference between the truth and the headlines. It all crashed the day he abandoned a team mission to chase TV cameras. Spider-Man watched a boy with limitless potential fail the simplest test, responsibility. And in that tragedy, the prophecy came true. His powers surged beyond control. Buildings shook, air fractured. And in Amazing Spider-Man 694, 2012, Peter made an impossible call. He shut Alpha down. He didn't punish him. He saved him, because sometimes power doesn't need a hero. It needs a mentor who knows when to say no, but destiny isn't so easy to unplug. Alpha's story didn't end when his powers were drained. It paused. It hardened him. When the energy returned, it didn't roar. It whispered. It forced him to grow up, not because he wanted to, but because the universe wasn't done with him yet. In Alpha Big Time 1, 2013, Andy Maguire stepped back into the world not as a spectacle, not as a celebrity, but as a kid trying to earn the right to be called a hero. The power returned differently this time, unstable, unpredictable, a reminder of who he once was and who he could become. He wasn't the phenomenon anymore. He was a work in progress, and for the first time, he actually wanted to be. With only a fraction of his original strength, Andy had to do something he had never done before: learn. He learned how to fight, how to plan, how to lose, and how to face people who remembered him not as a savior but as a cautionary tale. The boy who once thought himself untouchable now felt every consequence, every mistake, every second chance. His journey through the Big Time series brought something fragile and painfully human into play: doubt. Andy's power could ignite cities, but his heart was a battlefield. One side still craved the spotlight. The other side feared becoming the disaster he once was. And that tension charged every choice he made, especially when he met teammates who didn't trust him, villains who didn't fear him, and mentors who refused to give him shortcuts. That's the beauty of Alpha's arc. He is not born noble. He is not crafted for greatness. He is a teenager who was handed impossible power before he knew how to handle pain. And his path is messy, embarrassing, triumphant, and deeply real. That's what made Alpha 5, 2013, so powerful the moment he finally accepted that being a hero isn't about the power you carry. It's about the consequences you're willing to face. The cosmic spark inside Andy Maguire has never been stable. It evolves, it adapts, it reflects him. And in his later appearances, including Superior Spider-Man Team-Up 5-6, 2013, Alpha confronted something he had never truly faced before: the version of Spider-Man who didn't see him as a student but as a threat. Doc Ock in Peter's body saw only the danger Andy represented. And for good reason. Alpha's energy could destroy a city block with a single uncontrolled surge. But Andy wasn't the same boy Ock remembered. He stood his ground. He fought with restraint. He fought with purpose. And in that moment, something remarkable happened. Alpha didn't rise because of his power. He rose because of his choices. because a kid who once nearly shattered New York now protected it with everything he had. And that is Alpha's legacy, not a titan of cosmic flame, not a cautionary tale of arrogance, but a teenager who discovered that maturity is a superpower too. His journey is still open, still unfolding, still growing like the unstable star burning within him. Because Andy Maguire is a reminder that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones still figuring out who they are. And that's what makes Alpha dangerous, brilliant, and unforgettable. Stick with Logan's comics for more legends, more transformations, and more Marvel stories that break the universe open.